The mysterious and deadly Kara organization continue to hunt for their lost vessel, which may or may not be human and may or may not lead to the end of the entire Naruto world as we know it. Guys, this month's chapter of Boruto was freaking awesome. I absolutely loved it. It seems like with every single chapter, we're starting to learn a little bit more about the hierarchy and, of course, the infrastructure of the Kara organization. In the previous chapters, we learned that the entire organization consists of inner and outer members. And in this chapter, we finally get to see both. Not only do we get to see the return of the masked Kashin Koji, but we are introduced to one of their outer members, who just so happens to be a character that we've already seen in the series, and a character that, at least to the minds of the viewers, should be dead. That's right. That immediately makes this chapter interesting, so let's just talk about some of the big highlights. First and foremost, Konohamaru and his ninja group are investigating the downed airship which contains the vessel which belongs to the Kara organization, and they're immediately attacked by a mysterious assailant who unfortunately we do not get to see. Just like the last chapter, all we really see is a leg, and it appears that this character is wearing some sort of cape or a cloak which is completely ripped up and ragged. But a couple of the Konoha ninja are actually killed before Konohamaru can do anything, and before a confrontation can begin, we move on to the next scene. Guys, I'm really pumped up for this. I want to see Konohamaru have an epic battle. I want him to establish himself as a really powerful ninja, and as someone who is not just riding the coattails of Naruto. Yes, he can do sexy jutsu. Yes, he can do Rasengan. I want to see something that firmly establishes why Konohamaru is from one of the most famous ninja clans in the entire series. I want to know why he is such an epic Sarutobi ninja. I want to see him actually summon, like, Enma the giant monkey, or I want to see him actually utilize the abilities when he transforms into that massive hard as diamonds power pole-like weapon. I want to see something completely new from Konohamaru, and I want them to establish why this character is so freaking important. Of course, it's also going to be important that they establish that the Kara organization is going to consist of some very powerful ninja, some of which we may have seen before and some of which are going to be completely brand new. I can't really judge so far from what we've actually seen from these brand new characters thus far. The other part of this chapter is where the real story is beginning to go, and that's where we see that Boruto and all of his friends are getting ready to go on a C-rank mission, and they're going to be acting as bodyguards for Katasuke. Yes, Dr. Katasuke is returning, and that's because he is still developing the ninja technology. And this is something that does not sit well with Boruto. And that's because, and you can't really blame him for this, he's been told that the ninja technology is bad. Now he's learning that the ninja technology is good. Of course, it's a very circumstantial thing, where using it during the Chunin exams was something that would get you kicked out, but using it in a more practical situation, something that involves danger or war or some sort of scenario like that, the ninja technology is an absolute must, and they're trying to share it with all the other villages, and they're trying to refine that technology. So Katasuke is going to go to this place called Ryutan Town, and Boruto and all his friends are going to have to act as bodyguards. Now, this is a C-rank mission, but of course, as we all know in the Naruto series, things don't go that easily, so there's a pretty good chance that they're going to get ambushed by some sort of evil organization, probably the one that we've already seen in the series thus far, and we already get to see some hints to that at the very end of this chapter, where Boruto makes a big freaking fuss about not wanting to go on this mission. He's been told everything about the ninja technology is a lie, he believes it that way, and he decides he's just going to allow Mitsuki and Sarada to do this. But Mitsuki, being the one that he is, he actually manages to bring him on the mission with his very creepy snake arms and basically guilt-tripping him and telling him, look, if you want to be able to be strong enough to protect the Hokage, you're going to have to learn to do it now. It would look really bad if you didn't have an opportunity to actually protect Sarada and you ended up looking like a weakling in the process. Basically, he's guilt-tripping him into coming along on the trip, and it ends up working with flying colors. So they decide to get on a train and head out of town to this brand new location. And while they're getting on the train, Dr. Katasuke actually ends up running into a character that we have seen before. A character who should be dead. I'm talking, of course, about the 5th Mizukage's aide, Ao, or Ao, however you want to pronounce it. He's always been one of those characters that has had a very hard name for me to pronounce, but I'm just gonna call him Ao. And finally getting to see him return is honestly very surprising, because this dude should be dead. He was actually present at the Shinobi Alliance headquarters when it was completely annihilated by the Ten Tails during the final arc of the series. This was a very big scene, as a lot of key characters died, such as the fathers of both Shikamaru and Ino, and Ao was there as well, giving his life in the process, or at least so we thought. Apparently, he was the sole survivor of this massive explosion, although he didn't get out of the battle unscathed. Before, he was already missing an eye. Now he seems to be missing all sorts of body parts, which have been completely replaced and augmented by ninja technology. In fact, a lot of this technology was created by Dr. Katasuke himself, so he actually has a pretty strong relationship with Ao at this point. So, before, he basically had like an eye patch. Now he's got this like weird, freaky cyborg face. He's got this really awesome clawed-looking, like, robot arm. It looks like his legs have also suffered some massive damage. That combined with his old age and the fact that he just looks old and grizzled, this is a very different version of Ao that we have actually ever seen before in the series. He also seems incredibly jaded and very uncomfortable to actually be back in Konoha Village, and there's another important reason for that, but we'll get to that in a second. But this scene is really important because Boruto finally learns why this technology is so important in the first place. Not only can it be used as a weapon, but it can be used to actually save people. Without this technology, Ao would not be able to have the life that he actually has now. Everything has a purpose, and it's all circumstantial. That's really the most important thing to take away from this chapter right here. While something might appear bad on the surface, it might actually have something that it can do later on that could actually end up benefiting someone in some really great way. So this was basically Boruto's moment to come to terms with the fact that this ninja technology, while on the surface might seem like it's cheating, is actually very useful and can be applied to truly help out and change people's lives. It's a really great scene. And they could have ended the chapter right there, and it could have been a really great Ao cameo, but no, they make it even better. Boruto and all of his friends get off the train, and still sitting there is Ao, and right behind him, just sitting casually right there, is Kashin Koji. Now, this is a really important scene because we now firmly learn that Ao is a member of Kara. He's one of the outer members, and this just raises so many questions. One, how long has the Kara organization actually been around? Have they been around since the Akatsuki? Have they been around or formed like right after the end of the last Great War? Is this something that they've actually been planning for such a long time? What truly is their connection to the Otsutsuki clan, and how long have they had their inner and outer members? Has Ao actually been a member of Kara for a lot longer than we've actually realized? How is he actually brought into this organization in the first place? And for a character like Ao, it actually does end up making a lot of sense, as one of the biggest things about his character was how much he actually clung to the past of the Hidden Mist Village. And anyone who knows anything about the Naruto series knows that the Hidden Mist Village has a reputation for being incredibly violent in the past, to the point where they were actually given the name the Hidden Blood Village, or the Blood Mist Village. And he yearned for those days when things were violent and super hardcore, and he caught a lot of flack from Mei the Mizukage during her tenure as the leader of that village. Really, it was just a joke on the fact that this was an old man who was clinging to the old ideal ways of life and didn't want to see any change. But it looks like now that he has an opportunity to maybe even bring that change back, he's going to actually go for that. And the timing is perfect, considering that right now in the Boruto anime series, there is an arc which is involving this very subject in the Hidden Mist Village. And as if that weren't awesome enough, they actually do reference this anime arc in this chapter right here. Boruto actually learns when Ao is from the Hidden Mist Village. He recalls the fact that he and his class during the graduation days actually went on a field trip to the Hidden Mist Village, which is going on right now in the Boruto anime. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, check out those episodes. And you know what? Check out my reviews as well. They're pretty awesome. I think you guys should check them out. So basically what we learn here is that Ao is one of the outer members. He doesn't necessarily look like a Kara member on the outside, but that's the point. The outer members are the ones who work on the outside. They're not supposed to be seen. They're just supposed to look like regular people and go on very important missions for Kara. And Kashin Koji ends up giving them the mission to go and find the vessel. So we're definitely going to see a lot more of this character in the future. And heck, we might have already seen some previews to that with some of the stuff with Konohamaru. I just Cannot wait to see it all actually come to fruition here, and I'm really glad to see this character come back even under these circumstances right here. And Kashin Koji, man, what a cool looking character. I love the fact that he was actually on the color page of this manga chapter. We got to see him for the very first time in color with the black cloak, with the red stripes, with the cool little brooch that's right there. He's wearing that cool, awesome brown Phantom of the Opera mask, and he has this like really long flowing white hair and beard. He just looks like a very distinctive villain and very different from the other things that we've seen from the Naruto or Boruto anime and manga series. It's just exciting times, guys. So what's the rundown on this month's chapter of Boruto? I absolutely loved this chapter. Seeing Ao return was really surprising. My first thought was, how in the hell is this guy here? He died in a massive explosion along with Shikamaru and Ino's dad. How in the hell is this even possible? And then I noticed all the crazy robot parts on him, and he recalled that he was the lone survivor of that event. What if Kara was there to actually help out? What if Kara has actually been around this entire time and they've simply just sort of been waiting for that perfect opportunity to strike, just allowing the Akatsuki to eventually allow themselves to leave so that they could eventually take over? They clearly have some sort of connection to the Otsutsuki clan, so I can't wait to see what that's going to be. What I will say is I'm just surprised and shocked and very excited. I felt that at the very end of the Naruto series, there was nothing else the show could do to actually keep my attention. There's no way they could introduce any other villains which would be as interesting as the Akatsuki, especially with their motivation, and they're doing it right here with Boruto. They have got me by the freaking Dragon Balls every single week. Just hardcore, super excited for Boruto every single month, and this chapter certainly delivered on all of that, and I love how mysterious they're keeping things. I can't wait to see Konohamaru's battle to see if he's actually going to survive. I don't think they're going to kill the character off, and I can't wait to see what Ao is going to be getting into as he goes after the vessel. Just there's so much more I want to learn about these characters and to see what they're actually going to go. And it also helped that the artwork was pretty solid in this chapter, especially that color page of Kashin Koji. It just looked really cool. I can tell that maybe he's going to end up being a pretty popular cosplay type character. With all the new characters they're introducing, there's a lot of prospects for that and a lot of opportunities for us to get attached to some brand new and cool villain characters. So I'm very excited on that front. Really, though, I want to hear from you guys more than anything. I want to hear your theories as to what other outer members could actually be a part of the Kara organization, because now that Ao has been outed as one of the people of this organization, there's a possibility that other characters that we've seen in the series are associated with this group, and that is totally going to change what you think about them when you like rewatch or reread the Naruto manga or anime series. It's really going to change your perspective on the show, and I love when a series can do that. It makes rewatching things all the more fun, and it allows you to try and look for some clues that may have been there or may not have been there at all. You know, I don't think this was all a part of Kishimoto's plan at all, but what they're coming up with is at least really freaking interesting, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And you should too, so make sure to check it out. But like I said, my thoughts on this chapter are that I really loved it. I love the developments, I love the villains, I love Ao coming back, and I love his brand new crazy robot cyborg form, and I can't wait to see what sort of crazy things are going to happen in the next arc of the Boruto manga series. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5. I want to hear from you guys. Make sure to tell me all your thoughts and your theories in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay down, baby.